Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the channel. I am Dr. Mujahid Buneri. Today I would like to talk to you about another interesting topic, that is acromegaly. I am going to focus on 5 points. 1. What is acromegaly? 2. What are the causes of acromegaly? 3. What are the clinical features of acromegaly? 4. How will you investigate acromegaly? And the last but not the least, what are the treatment options for acromegaly? So let's get started. What is acromegaly? Acromegaly is the overproduction of growth hormone leading to soft tissue overgrowth throughout the body. What is gigantism? Gigantism is the overproduction of growth hormone in children, while acromegaly is the excessive production of growth hormone in adults. I hope the difference between acromegaly and gigantism is clear now. Now let's move on to my next topic, which is causes of acromegaly. Acromegaly is almost always caused by a pituitary adenoma. However, it can be a part of multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1, which is a combination of pituitary adenoma, parathyroid hyperplasia, and pancreatic tumor such as gastrinoma. So remember 3 things and min 1: pituitary adenoma, parathyroid hyperplasia, and pancreatic tumor. Rarely, acromegaly is also caused by ectopic growth hormone production from lung cancer, which may be lymphoma or bronchial carcinite. Let's turn now to clinical features of acromegaly. Acromegaly enlarges soft tissue like cartilage and bone, resulting in increased head, ring, and shoe size. Carpal tunnel syndrome and obstructive sleep apnea from soft tissue enlarging. Body odor from sweat gland hypertrophy. Deep voice and macroglossia, meaning big tongue. Hypertension, which is resistant to treatment for unclear reasons. Hyperglycemia, colonic polyps and skin tags. Arthralgias, mean joint pain due to joints overgrowth, and erectile dysfunction from increased prolactin co-secreted with the pituitary adenoma. If patient is male, so consider erectile dysfunction. If the patient is male, one of the cause of erectile dysfunction may be pituitary adenoma. Moving on to diagnostic tests. The best initial test is serum level of insulin like growth factor 1. Point to be noted. The most accurate test is glucose suppression test. Normally, glucose should suppress growth hormone levels. But in case of acromegaly, glucose will not suppress the growth hormone. Multiple choice question. MRI brain should be done only after the laboratory identification of acromegaly. Prolactin levels are tested because of co-secretion with growth hormone. Point to be noted. Coming to the treatment options for acromegaly. The definitive treatment for acromegaly is transpyramidal resection of pituitary adenoma. It is successful in 70% cases. The second line treatment is medications which include 1. Cabergoline. It is dopamine agonist which inhibit growth hormone release. 2. Octreotide. It is somatostatin analog which also inhibit growth hormone release. 3. Pegvisomant. It is growth hormone receptor antagonist which inhibit insulin-like growth factor release from liver. Radiotherapy is used only in those who do not respond to surgery or medication. So that brings me to the end of my today lecture. I looked at 5 main points. First, I defined acromegaly, which is a condition in adults due to the overproduction of growth hormone. Then we looked at causes of acromegaly, which includes pituitary adenoma, MEN1, and ectopic production of growth hormone from lung cancer. Then I spoke about clinical features, which include increased head, ring and shoe size, carpal tunnel syndrome, obstructive sleep apnea, excessive sweating, body odor, deep voice and macroglossia, hypertension, hyperglycemia, colonic polyps, skin tags, arthralgias, and erectile dysfunction. Then I told you about the diagnostic tests, which include insulin-like growth factor 1, glucose suppression test, MRI brain, and serum prolactin level. And finally, I explained about treatment options for acromegaly, in which I mentioned surgery, medication, and radiotherapy. Medication include cabergoline, octreotide, and pegvisomant. This was all about today's lecture. Thanks for watching.